it's super easy to set up a hog panel pen for show day. You can use it to shampoo and clean your pig in, or to move them around in for photos and your 90-second video. Today I've used 16-foot hog panels from Tractor Supply, and the corkscrews are from Premier One Supplies. They are a lifesaver. If you don't own them, you need to order them today. They're like $1.99, super cheap, and it is the fastest way to connect your hog panels together. So today's video is going to be about how to move your pig, and like I talked about in supplies, you're going to need to have either a dressage whip or a pig stick. I personally like to use a dressage whip because it's got a little bit more give to it. The pig stick that you can also pick up at a livestock store or Tractor Supply is very rigid, and so if you tend to be a heavy-handed person, I would avoid it and just get a dressage whip. So the first thing that you're going to want to have in moving your pig is some patience. Very different from show pigs. Showing coonies, we're not really worried about lifting their head up. It's something that 4-Hers and show people really train quite a while on with their show pigs, is getting their head up, and that's not something that we're really concerned about with coonies. What you're going to be really concerned about is just keeping a nice fluid movement, keeping them moving, turning them when you want to turn them. And so you're just going to want to spend a lot of time in a familiar place to them, where you're going to end up shooting your video and practicing moving them around. One thing that you're going to want to utilize is this stick on their shoulder or jowl to turn them. So I'm going to use Gracie here as an example. She immediately lifted her head when I started gently tapping her on the shoulder. To turn her, I'm just going to tap her on that jowl. And if she's walking where I want her to walk, I'm going to just allow her some movement, maybe tap her on the butt just a little bit. We'll talk about how to position yourself with the camera on another video, on the shooting your video. But today what we're concerned about is just you moving your pig. So notice how I just gently tap her shoulder and her jowl, and she turns for me. You're just going to want to work with your pig so that they do this. I'm not slapping her, I'm not beating her, I'm just gently tapping, and she does this well because we've worked with her. Now if you get backed into a corner like this, you can tap, you can use your hand, you can use a small brush to get them moved on from the corner. You never ever want to kick your pig. You never want to nudge your pig with a knee. You're always going to either want to tap with your hand, with a brush, your whip. All right. Gracie just farrowed, so she's looking at her babies right now, and she's a little bit more concerned about that. So I'm just out here practicing with another pig. I've not taken her from her field, so you don't have to do anything special to practice. You're just going to get them used to the stick and the cues that you're giving them. So to get her to move to the right, I'm going to touch her left jowl and shoulder. And I'm having to be a little bit stronger handed with her because she's got it in her mind that she wants to go a certain way. And then to move her to the left, you're going to use the jowl and the right jowl and right shoulder, and pray that you don't have a donkey in your path. When they're just walking forward and fluid, just let them do that on their own. when you can't get them to move, what you don't want to do is to give them a knee, and you don't want to give them a kick. You're just going to want to use your hand or a brush to get them to move on. She's being pretty obstinate. So you can definitely train a boar to your stick too. I'm having to work around some ladies here, but Quincy definitely knows what I'm asking of him when I use the stick on his side. If you do have a pig run off on you, don't chase it. That's not what you want for your video. Just let them walk off.
Okay, so it's show day and you're ready to drive your pig to a win. Here we've set up a circular pen using Premier One fencing to eliminate tight quarters that you might find in a square pen. Ada has her dressage whip and she's using that on the shoulders and jowl of her pig to move her around the show ring. When her pig becomes obstinate, you can see that Ada's got a brush in her other hand to gently tap the hindquarters of her sow to get her to move on. In a virtual show, your cameraman is the judge. So the goal here is for you to show the cameraman or the judge all sides of your pig. You're going to want to drive your pig so that the camera gets a good view of both sides, front, and back of your pig so that the judge can adequately view all that your pig has to offer. Notice that Ada never nudges her pig with her knee or her leg. She never kicks her. She just uses that whip and that brush to move her pig on. We wish you great luck on show day.